Did you know that when animals are in the zoo, they develop a psychosis that makes them have chronic anxiety and depression? And you are probably suffering from that. It's pretty fucked up. I don't like that. This is a very relevant topic. It's important to know it because this shapes the way that you are feeling, the way that your family is feeling, your neighbors are feeling, everybody's feeling this way, and we don't understand that. And I believe that for us to make a change and for us to improve something, first you have to understand what's the thing that you're trying to improve, what's the thing that you're trying to change. If you don't understand what you're fighting, you are never going to win. Let me show you something. Where is it? It's a pretty cool quote. I wanted to memorize it, but I couldn't. This is very true. Hence the saying, if you know the enemy and know yourself, your victory will not stand in doubt. If you know heaven and you know earth, you may make your victory complete. You cannot achieve your goals if you don't know what you're aiming at.
So, what the fuck is the problem?
People suffer a lot. We keep opening the same 3 apps. We keep thinking, okay, life is going to get better, life is going to get better, life is going to get better. And then we fall onto the same patterns that makes us waste our time, makes us waste our resources, our money in stupid things that we don't need. And we feel like there's something that we're looking for. We don't know how to cope with this new reality that we're living in. So,
there are
many ways to explain what's going on with us, where we went wrong, and how to solve it. Let me preface by saying that we went right. Like, the world that we're living in right now is an amazing world, and we have lots of wonders, technology, medicine, infrastructure. It's the best that it's ever been, honestly. It's the best that it's ever been. But there's also some pains that you might be feeling right now that you probably didn't feel before. And you might be feeling different now that you felt when you were younger, that you felt 10 years ago, let's say. As society evolves, the way that we suffer evolves. So how can we understand what's the solution if we don't understand exactly what's the problem?
There are
many problems, and there's not one single solution. One of the ways that we can understand that suffering, it's looking outside to see analogs of what is going on with us. Biologists and animal behavioralists have observed animals in captivity, and although they can't speak, they show pretty clear signs of anguish through their behavior and their body language. And they call that zoochosis. So when animals aren't able to engage in their natural instincts, like hunting, roaming through vast places, social bonding, and so on, animals tend to engage in unnatural behaviors animal behavioralists call stereotypes. This is important. So stereotypes are repetitive behaviors without purpose that you will rarely see in the wild. As an example, you might see big cats like lions or tigers roaming and pacing around. Elephants and giraffes tend to sway and bob their heads. Primates and birds engage in self-harm. Birds pluck their feathers. Primates pull on their hair. And they've been seen biting their limbs until they bleed. This happens because this simulation of a natural environment makes it almost impossible for animals to act on their instincts, to behave in the way that they evolved to because of the niche and because of the environment that they evolved as a part of. This unnaturality puts them in constant stress. Zoochosis is the physical manifestation of the brain attempting to cope with an environment that it wasn't built for.
Top 3 causes of zoochosis.
Number 3, lack of control. Animals, when they are in the wild, they choose when to eat, they choose when to hunt, they choose when to roam, they choose when to they choose when to do anything. They have control. When they're in the zoo, somebody else feeds them. They live in a enclosed environment, so there is a learned helplessness, and this concept is very important. There is a learned helplessness that causes chronic depression in the animals. They're not free to do whatever the fuck they want. Clearly, they're in a zoo, they're captive, they're kidnapped by us. And it might be a good thing. Some of them might be animals that are about to go extinct. Some of them might be animals that can survive in the wild. Some of them might be animals that suffer abuse and now they are maladapted and they can't go out there, or they'll be killed by the group if they ever come back. Still, learn helplessness, no control over their lives. They call learned helplessness a state of passive despair, which is just so appropriate. A state of passive despair. Number 2, environmental mismatch and isolation/crowding. Large predators like tigers or lions, or migratory animals like polar bears or gray wolves have ranges 18,000 to 1,000,000 times wider in nature than in the zoo. 18,000 to 1,000,000 times wider in nature than in the zoo. Zoochosis, how can you blame them? A human in the wild can usually travel between 6 to 16 kilometers every day. That's between 4 to 10 miles every single day. And also, social animals, when in captivity, might suffer because they're alone. And they're supposed to be social, but they're isolated. Or they might be solitary animals and they're confined in a place full of other animals. And number 1, did you know that zoochotic kids can learn from their zoochotic parents the zoochotic behavior, creating a sort of vicious cycle, a generational curse that it's almost impossible to break. And they will pass on these behaviors, creating a generational transmission of mental illness. While zoochosis is used specifically for non-human animals, psychologists and sociologists increasingly notice that humans in modern, high-density or digital-heavy environments show incredibly similar behaviors to these stereotypical behaviors that we've been talking about. This phenomenon is often discussed as encultured captivity or modern captivity syndrome. But Alejandro, I'm not in a cage, I'm free. Yeah, sure. You're so free, you keep coming back to the same 3 apps, looking for something, looking for that scratch, looking for that piece of content, looking for that post that will finally make you satisfied, right? Will you ever find that post that will finally make you satisfied? Will you ever have enough of doom scrolling? Will you ever have enough of that infinite feed of human creations, and more often than not, non-human creations? Are you really free when an algorithm is designed specifically for you, for your taste, and there's almost an endless amount of artificial intelligence generated content? There's so much content, there's so many ways to engage, and there's so many people making so much money engaging you in lowbrow content that it's not going to add anything for you, barely any information. It's only making your brain more addicted to short bursts of dopamine, watching people that you are never going to watching people that are never going to talk to you, watching people that are never going to be your friends. And you create this bonding, you create this parasocial relationship with them. You stare at people all day long without talking to a single one of them, without even having the possibility of creating a real connection, a passive state of despair, okay? Learned helplessness, zoochosis. I mean, I get it, we did it, we won. We're the scariest, toughest, coolest, most sexy animals in the planet, we did it. You don't have to worry about your survival like that. You have to worry about man-made horrors beyond your imagination. You have to worry about chemical dependencies. You have to worry about the economic state of the world. But we made it. This is the safest, most stable period in human history. We made it. But we haven't made it like that. We're still suffering a lot. We live in a world that our brains did not evolve to live in, okay? Our brains evolved to be in a specific niche, in a specific natural environment, subjected to some stressors and subjected to a limited amount of information. And now look at where we are. I'm talking to a lot of people right now. Even if this video gets 100 views, which is nothing. Even if this video gets 30 views, which is nothing. I'm talking to 30 people. I'm talking to 30 people right now, but I'm talking to nobody. I'm talking to Gianna, maybe she's in the other room. So what can we do to solve that, okay? What helps? I'll tell you what helps. Let's understand our phones as the sugary luxury they are. We are the first generation of this hyperstimulation, no time for boredom experiment. And this shit might be as bad as asbestos or lead. It's a great tool. I love having a dark glass of colors and sound that will make the Library of Alexandria look like a brain rot TikTok page. Instant answers anywhere. All the knowledge of humanity right there. Okay, let's treat this tool with the respect that it deserves. Let's respect this tool, okay?